For most of us, daily life feels like these churning, chaotic storm clouds. Between relentless internal noise and the stress of constant to-do lists, it often feels like your mind is a storm you simply can't escape. But the key to quietness is recognizing a single fact. Your mind and your body are not who you are. They are instruments you possess, not the entity that defines you. Think of your mind and body like this minimalist flowchart, a pencil box of tools provided for you to navigate the world. You are the master creator at the center, using the tools to get the work done, remaining distinct from them. To prove this distinction to yourself, we're going to walk through a 5-minute reset. Find a quiet space where you won't be interrupted, and choose one specific negative thought that has been bothering you lately. By applying these 3 steps, you will learn how to effectively distance yourself from that thought, moving from a state of emotional reaction to one of grounded, calm observation. Step 1 is about biological regulation. You cannot effectively observe your mind if your nervous system is trapped in a stress response, so we begin by anchoring the body. We'll use the 4-7-8 technique. Following the expansion of the circle and the progress bar on screen, inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4. Now hold that breath for 7 seconds. Keep your body as still as possible, focusing only on the sensation of the air being held. Finally, release the breath through your mouth in a slow, steady exhale for 8 seconds, watching the circle contract back to its original size. Take a moment to complete one more full cycle of this 4-7-8 pattern at your own pace. You should notice a specific shift, your heart rate slowing down, and the physical tension in your shoulders beginning to ease. This physical reset neutralizes your body's fight or flight response. You've now created the physiological baseline necessary to look at your thoughts without getting swept up in them. For step 2, intentionally bring that negative thought you selected earlier to the front of your mind. The goal here is not to fight the thought, judge it, or try to push it away. In fact, doing so only gives the thought more of your attention and energy. Look at the left side of this model. When you fight a thought, you create a collision of mental energy. On the right, however, the observer remains stationary, while the stress object simply passes by. This is the traffic signal approach. As the model expands to full frame, watch how each object enters and exits without disturbing the center. Your job is to stay at the traffic signal. You don't jump in front of the car, and you don't chase it down the street. You just watch it drive away. Think of your emotions as the weather. A storm may be passing through, but it is a temporary environmental condition. It is not a permanent part of who you are. By refusing to resist the thought, you starve it of the energy it needs to persist. When it's no longer being fed by your struggle, it naturally begins to dissolve. Step 3 is for those moments when a thought is particularly stubborn or refuses to pass by on its own. When you feel yourself getting pulled back into a loop, use a cognitive interrupt. Mentally press this reset button and tell the thought, cancel, cancel. This creates an immediate break in your mental momentum. Immediately replace that interrupted thought with a positive affirmation, like the one on screen. Double the goodness is on its way to me. This fills the mental void with a constructive direction. Pay attention to the shift. You should feel a sudden break in the negativity and a new sense of control over where your focus is going. This visual represents a mind that is no longer reactive. By using these interrupts, you move from a state of low-energy rumination into a state of clear, focused awareness. This active reset is your primary tool for reclaiming your focus. You aren't just letting things happen to you anymore. You are consciously choosing which thoughts to give your attention to. Take one last deep breath. Compare how your body feels and how clear your mind is now compared to just 5 minutes ago. You'll likely find that the negative thought you started with no longer feels as heavy or as urgent as it did before we began. By following these steps, you have stepped into the role of the silent witness. You've moved from being the person experiencing the storm to being the person observing it from a place of safety. When you maintain this state of awareness, you stop reacting out of habit. You remain grounded, which allows you to navigate daily challenges with much less internal friction. Your challenge is to use this tomorrow. The next time you feel a flash of frustration or stress, mentally say, cancel, cancel, and return to the role of the observer. You hold the keys to this awareness. By recognizing that you are the observer and not the tools, you can move through the world with a sense of genuine, lasting peace.